In ancient times, in the old lands of Mesopotamia, there was a kingdom covered in mountains, rivers, and fertile plains. People lived simple lives. They worked in fields. They raised their families. They lived with hope until the day a new ruler took the throne. A ruler named Zahak. Zahak was not always evil, but he was easily influenced. One day, a dark force came to him, a shadowy figure, a whisper in the night. This figure convinced Zahak to commit a terrible act, and from that day forward, Zahak changed. Soon after, 2 serpents grew from Zahak's shoulders. No one knew how to stop them. They hissed with hunger. They demanded food, and not just any food. They demanded the brains of young people every single day. Zahak was afraid of the pain the serpents caused. He feared losing control. He feared losing power. So he ordered his soldiers to take 2 young people from the villages every day. Families began hiding their children. Villages fell silent at night. People whispered in fear. Hope slowly faded away. But in a small workshop at the edge of the city lived a man named Kawa the Blacksmith. He was strong. He was respected. He was known for his honesty and his skill. People trusted him because he understood their struggles. Kawa had 16 sons, and 15 of them were taken by Zahak's soldiers, one by one, year after year. His home grew quieter, his table emptier, his heart heavier. Only one son remained, Kawa's last child, his final light in a dark world. One morning, the soldiers came again. They knocked on his door. They demanded his last son. Kawa stood tall. His hands were trembling, but his voice was steady. No. The soldiers were shocked. No one had ever refused before. But Kawa did not step aside. He closed his door. He held his son close, and he felt something he had not felt in a long time. Courage. That night, Kawa could not sleep. He walked into his workshop. He stared at his tools, the furnace, the anvil, the hammer. He realized something important. If he did nothing, Zahak would destroy the entire kingdom, not just his family, everyone. So he made a choice that would change history. Kawa lit the furnace. Flames rose high. Sparks danced in the air. He placed iron into the fire, and he began to work. Clang, clang, clang. Each strike carried the weight of his grief. Each strike carried the pain of his people. Each strike carried the hope of a better future. Hours passed. The fire glowed brighter. The metal softened. And slowly, it took shape. A hammer, but not an ordinary hammer. This one was made for battle, for justice, for freedom. When the first light of dawn touched the sky, Kawa stepped outside. The air was cold. The streets were empty. But news spread quickly. People saw the look in Kawa's eyes. They saw the fire inside him. Within minutes, a crowd gathered around him. Mothers who had lost their children. Fathers who had lost their hope. Young people who feared the next morning. Kawa raised the hammer, and he spoke. My friends, my family, my people, we cannot live like this. We cannot hide anymore. Today we rise together. At first, the crowd was silent. Then a few nodded. Then more. Then voices rose. Some wept. Some shouted. But all stood beside Kawa. The people marched with him through the city. More joined from every street. Old men, young women, children who understood more than they should. By the time they reached Zahak's mountain palace, the crowd had become a sea of determined faces. The palace stood tall, dark, cold, surrounded by guards. But something unexpected happened. Many of the guards lowered their weapons, some turned away. Some even joined the people because they too had suffered under Zahak's rule. Kawa walked to the giant gates. He lifted his hammer, and he struck. Boom! The gates shook. He struck again. Boom! On the third strike, the gates burst open. The people rushed inside. Their footsteps echoed in the halls. Their voices filled the air. Their courage shook the palace itself. At the end of a long corridor, Zahak sat on his golden throne. The serpents on his shoulders writhed and hissed. His eyes burned with anger. He stood up. "You dare challenge your king," he roared. Kawa stepped forward. He held the hammer tightly, and he said, "I challenge a tyrant." Zahak lunged forward. The serpents snapped at the air, but Kawa did not step back. He swung the hammer with all the strength he had, strength forged in pain, forged in love, forged in the fire of justice. The blow struck true. Zahak fell. The serpents screamed. The throne cracked, and the palace trembled. Silence followed, a deep silence. Then the people cheered. They embraced each other. They cried tears of joy. They climbed the palace walls and shouted to the sky. "We are free!" Kawa walked to the top of the mountain. He built a large fire. He lit it. Flames rose high, bright and warm, a sign to every village, to every family, to every heart that had suffered. When the villagers saw the fire from afar, they understood. They celebrated. They danced. They hugged each other, because the long night was finally over. That night became a symbol of hope, of unity, of a new beginning. And today, people still celebrate that moment. They call it New Raz, the day when darkness was defeated by the courage of ordinary people. The day when Kawa lit the fire of freedom, a fire that still burns in hearts all around the world. The legend of Blacksmith Kawa reminds us of something important, that even in the darkest times, even when hope feels lost, a single spark, a single voice, a single act of courage can change everything